Long before Spider-Man was an action hero on the silver screen, he was a star on the pages of Marvel Comics. He owes his existence to a man named Stan Lee, who talks now with our Lee Cowan.
I wanted to be Errol Flynn.
He was your superhero?
Oh, yeah. I would leave the theater, and I had an imaginary sword at my side, and I'd be looking for some girl that some bully was picking on so I could run to her rescue.
Did you save some girls?
No, I never found that girl, and I probably would have gotten beaten up anyway.
Or arrested.
Very good.
Stan Lee might not have become Robin Hood, but he certainly achieved superhero status.
Let me congratulate you on having the good sense and the good taste to be here.
At 93, he's as famous as his characters, regarded by comic book fans and convention goers worldwide as one of the architects of 20th century mythology.
He's basically responsible for my childhood.
How are you doing?
Great, Stan, you're the man.
Do you feel like a rock star?
Sometimes they make me feel that way. You know, when they say, can you take a picture with me or shake my hand or something? It's a great feeling that people really care that much. It is.
Name a superhero, name a superpower, and chances are Stan Lee helped dream them up. The list is long. From Spider-Man to Iron Man, from the Hulk to Thor, the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, all his in some capacity. He's essentially the god of the Marvel Universe.
Did you ever worry you were going to run out of characters or run out of superpowers?
No, that never really occurred to me. It was too much fun doing them.
He didn't do it alone. While the characters and the storylines were mostly Stan's, they were co-created with the help of his graphic artists, like Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, who sketched out Stan's wild ideas in vivid detail.
All of these artists made my stories look better than they were.
Hey, hello there. Here you go. Perhaps not surprisingly, Stan's story has just been put into comic book form too. How's that? A memoir, the way only Marvel's master could deliver, published by Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS.
I figured I've done everything else as a graphic novel. Why not my life? That's fine with me.
The comic starts out as Stan started out, as Stanley Martin Lieber, born to Jewish immigrants in 1922. He grew up poor in a tiny Bronx apartment during the Depression. When Stan was old enough, he started looking for jobs to help pay the bills. And in 1939, he landed at a publishing house, which just happened to have a small division called Timely Comics.
I'd fill the inkwells. In those days, they used ink. I'd run down and get them sandwiches at the drugstore, and I'd proofread the pages. And sometimes in proofreading, I'd say, you know, this sentence doesn't sound right. It ought to be written like this. Well, go ahead and change it. They didn't care.
Characters like Destroyer, Father Time, and Jack Frost soon had Stan's fingerprints all over them. He got so caught up in the battles of good versus evil that after Pearl Harbor, it seemed only natural he joined the army.
Oh, hell, how could you not volunteer for the army? Hitler was over there doing all those horrible things.
But instead of fighting, Stan found himself drawing. His best work? A poster telling soldiers how not to get VD.
I drew a little soldier very proudly, and he's saying, VD, not me, as he walks in. They must have printed 100 trillion of those. I think I won the war single-handedly with that poster.
By the time the 60s rolled around, Timely Comics had become Marvel Comics, and Stan realized he could do more than just entertain. His characters could also offer social commentary.
And you didn't shy away from the issues of the day. I mean, you took on war, you took on race relations, you took on drug abuse.
I tried everything that people were thinking of, that I was thinking of, that was concerning people at the time.
His superheroes had flaws. They argued among themselves. They had hang-ups. All key ingredients that went into his most famous character of all, Spider-Man.
I saw a fly crawling on a wall, and I said, gee, what if a guy could stick to walls like an insect? I said, that sounds good. So I started trying to think of some names. Insect Man? Nah. Mosquito Man? And then I got to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man. Ooh, that sounds dramatic. And if he has spider power, he can shoot a web also, and he can swing. Oh, man. Then I figured I'd make him a teenager, and I figured I'd do the unthinkable. I'd give him personal problems. I ran into my publisher. I said, have I got an idea for you? His name is Spider-Man. I couldn't get any further. He said, Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard.
The rest, of course, is the stuff of comic book lore. Spider-Man led what became known as the Marvel Revolution. And then there's those Marvel movies.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
Stan Lee has made cameos in almost all of them, standing toe-to-toe with his big-screen pals, though not exactly on equal footing.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really,
Nice
I'm
try.
Stan
Yeah.
Lee.
Surprising to many of his fans is that although Stan created the characters, he never really owned them. Marvel did. Which is why, despite all the comic book sales and the TV shows and those big blockbuster movies, Stan found himself largely cut out of the profits.
Now that you've seen all these characters that you created making, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, but you're not getting any of that. Not really a dime.
Nope. No, I don't share in any of that.
But they're your characters.
Well, they're not my characters. I mean, they belong to the company. I was getting, it was my job to create them.
Does it make you angry? Does it frustrate you?
I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm having too much fun with the rest of my life, and there's no point going back and saying I should have done this or I could have done that. Or, you know, what does it gain you?
It was only after Stan sued Marvel in 2002 that the issue came to light.
This could be the next Spider-Man.
He settled for an undisclosed 7-figure amount, and Marvel did give Stan a title, Chairman Emeritus of Marvel Enterprises.
You're the most photographed superhero, well, in this office anyway.
He currently heads up POW Entertainment, POW standing for Purveyors of Wonder, and he's far from out of ideas.
Eric, you never let us down. I think that's beautiful.
Thank you very much, Dad.
Yeah, let's just use that. Let's go with it, okay?
Do you think you'll ever retire?
Oh, no.
No?
No, that's a dirty word.
Why is it a dirty
Well,
word?
you know, retire to do what? I'm doing what I want to do, so why would I want to retire from it?
How lucky can you be? Excelsior!
For all the villains out there roaming the galaxy, let's hope Stan Lee has a few more superpowers up his sleeve to protect us all when we need a good escape.
Do you think looking back now that this is what you were born to do?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I really think I was born to be Errol Flynn, but I never quite made it.